Can I tell a story about my day? And it's going to lead into a sports topic. I don't know if this goes off of our script at all.
Sure, no, go ahead.
It's freeform, man.
I had a full day today. I went out, got a nice haircut.
Okay.
Went out to the 99 with the wife.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Had a meal, and while I was there, to what did my wandering eyes did see on the television? But believe it or not, Brett Favre.
Brett Favre.
Brett Favre, professional quarterback, retired. No, wait, not yet. Okay, I'm retired. Well, never mind. Apparently, Brett Favre has set a deadline, another deadline. I believe this is deadline 12. He is going to decide by July 30th whether or not he's going to sign with the Vikings and play next year, which is good because he's only been milking this decision for. I mean, John, you're a Vikings fan. What are we, 6-7 months in now?
It's been a while. As a Vikings fan, I don't mind the wait. I don't want him to come back if he feels like he's not wanting to play. If he's ready to go, we'd be happy to have him.
The good news for you is the dramatics usually lead to, yes, I'm going to play.
They do. I'm not sure how much of it is dramatics and how much of it is just the media is in a cycle where they're watching his every step and reporting on everything he does. It's
just leave me alone a little while.
But I mean, now, can you explain to me, and,
Yes.
and maybe you can, the stories that I read today before we're coming in, he's been working out 3 times a week up to now, and he's added a 4th time a week, and it's not as though there obviously has been some significant media coverage of this, and Brad Childress, the Vikings coach, has not. His way of talking about it has kind of kept Favre in the loop and everything.
Right.
But, I mean, is there really, in your mind, obviously, you're very close with Brett Favre and all, but
we're friends.
Is there what decision is left to be made? I mean, in his head, is there anything to this other than, well, let's keep my name in the press for another week?
I really don't think that he's trying to keep his name in the press. I think he's just trying to make a decision that's right for him. I would equate it to, and I got the same type of reaction, but it's similar to what Kurt Schilling did in his last years or Roger Clemens. These guys are veteran guys that know what they can do. They know themselves, and they have the ability to call the shots, whereas most athletes don't have the ability to call the shots.
Look what happened last year. Okay, they around this time, or actually it was preseason, they started making the big deal about the fact that Brett Favre is going to become a Jet, and what happened? Big deal. I mean, it was a nothing year.
I wouldn't go that far. I think people like to pick and choose. Like anything, if you're on one side of it, you pick and choose these facts. If you're on the other side, you pick and choose those facts. In my mind, Brett Favre, for his last year in Green Bay and his first half of his first year in New York, was a Pro Bowl MVP caliber quarterback, and then he suffered an injury. So to say that he doesn't have it to come back, I think it's ridiculous.
You know better than I do, and I shouldn't say that being
you should say
an NFL observer that I am, but you know more about the Vikings than I do. How good of a team are they if they add Brett Favre? I mean, is he going to be a difference maker for them, or are they just going to be a middle of the pack team with Brett Favre?
Are you telling me that Brett Favre can outperform Sage Rosenfels? Is that what you're going to convince me?
Sage Rosenfels is pretty good too, but
but what I'm saying is,
you get Brett Favre on. Yes, they won 10 games last year with. They're still young in a certain categories. They're young. I mean, they're not a lock to win the Super Bowl, but it puts them in that group of 10 teams that can win a Super Bowl, I think. So whereas I don't think they could necessarily win a Super Bowl with Sage Rosenfels.
It's not really a matter of building this up so that it lends some to make it seem like it's an important signing for the Vikings, to have them say to Brett, hey, let's hold off a little bit here. Let's kind of play this up and milk it and try to get as much coverage as we can, because otherwise there'll be a lot of stories.
Who wants coverage?
Well, the Vikings. Are we trying to...
Why do the Vikings... the Vikings don't care.
Are they trying
You guys are in the media. You know how the media is. If they feel like there's interest in what's being... If the media feels like there's interest in a story, they're going to report on it. Teams don't want. What did the Vikings gain by being in the spotlight?
The Mets didn't want some media coverage in signing Pedro Martinez. It's obviously a different situation.
Media coverage,
games are going to sell out no matter what.
Are they trying to get fans interested?
They want interest, and interest comes in some happenstance, probably not as much as is often talked about,
Yeah.
but media coverage is a big piece of it.
Because I'll tell you this, I mean, Brett Favre becomes a Viking. I really don't care about that past the first game. Yeah, I'll watch his first game as a Viking.
It's not a big deal.
I don't really care. So by kind of dragging this out, making it a story, they might have a little bit more.
I don't think so. I think it's that if you really track the negotiations that go on between a player and a team, there's a lot of back and forth and there's a lot of soap opera there. But if it's not Brett Favre, you don't hear about it, you don't know about it, and nobody cares.
How much negotiation is left? They've known he was going to be possibly becoming a Viking since his last minute of a Jets game.
Right, but this is just private negotiations between a player and a team. And when you get 62 requests for interviews every day, Brett, tell us what's going on. I don't really think Brett's doing anything wrong.